Órale, Cholo Trucker, Mas Movies and Shows. And here we got the movie Dallas Buyers Club. Dallas Buyers Club came out in 2013. It is an hour and 57 minutes long. You can find this movie on Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Google Play Movies and TV, Fandango at Home. Let's get to the description. In mid 1980s, Texas electrician Ron Woodruff is stunned to learn that he has AIDS. Though told that he has just 30 days left to live, Woodruff refuses to give in to despair. He seeks out alternative therapies and smuggles unapproved drugs into the U.S. from where he can find from wherever he can find them. Sorry. Woodruff joins forces with a fellow AIDS patient and begins selling the treatments to the growing number of people who can't wait for the medical establishment to save them. All right, let's see. Rotten Tomatoes has this movie at 92%. Um, I've never heard of this movie. Never. It came across my feed, and I think I watched it on Amazon Prime Video, I think it was. I've never heard of this movie. I like Matthew McConaughey. I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and check it out. And that was a while back. That was probably like 2 months before I actually watched it. I just knew eventually I would get around to it. And finally I did watch it. Um this is based on a true story back in the 1980s. I think it started like in 1985. So this guy, Ron Woodruff, played by Matthew McConaughey, this guy is a straight he's he's living the life of a straight dirtbag. He's out in Texas somewhere, and he's a gambler, he's a smoker, he's a drinker, he's a womanizer. I mean, this guy is living like the straight cowboy party life, right? At the same time, kind of a low life. He lives in a trailer house. Yeah, it's not like he's making a lot of dough. He gambles. He can't pay his debt. He's really living like the party low life type of life, right? And he actually has an accident at work and he has to go get checked out at the hospital. Now, when he does, that's when he finds out that he is HIV positive. Now, this is the 1980s, right? At that time, that was pretty much a death sentence. And he was this movie, I'll tell you. I did enjoy this movie. He's anti-gay, right? So he's only believing that, well, only gay people can get this. So what the heck, and he's as straight as an arrow. So he's like, what's going on, right? Like, how the heck is this possible? And then he sees by doing research and everything, he realizes, I think it said right there that 17% of non-homosexuals um, that are diagnosed with HIV did not have any homosexual activities, right? So, they tell him that he has 30 days left, and he's like, "What the heck? Like, no, I'm not gonna die in 30 days." So he starts looking up things. He's doing some research and starts seeing things abroad outside of the US. Certain vitamins, certain medications, it's just they're not approved in the United States. So he's like, screw this. I'm going to go get me some of that stuff. And that's basically what the movie's about. He's going out, he's getting some of this stuff. He goes down south of the border first to get him some of the stuff. And he's all like, yeah, I feel better. And it's so many months later, it's like, wait a second, I passed the 30 days where I was supposed to die. I'm still alive. Not only am I alive, I actually feel pretty damn good. And the doctor down there is saying, like, yeah, that's the stuff I'm giving you, but it's just not approved in the United States. So he realizes if I could smuggle some of this stuff, if I could get some of this stuff to the US, I could make me a nice little bank, a nice little fortune here. And that's what he starts doing, not just from Mexico, but from different places around the world. And he definitely teams up with another person who's homosexual. Remember, he was like super duper anti-gay, but now these are his customers. A lot of the gay, community are really looking to him that have HIV or AIDS. He becomes the go-to guy. He becomes the medicine man. He has to go and hang out at some of these places, which is why he befriends the person that you see here on the screen. And it was it could get a little bit weird. The movie could get a little bit odd at times, but the story, I enjoyed it. And just knowing that it was a true story, I'm like, oh, okay. It made me a little bit more interested. I enjoyed this movie. I did. McConaughey does a great job. I always thought he was a great actor. He did a great job in this movie. And good gosh, just seeing him all shot out. I mean, he did a great job. I don't know how much weight he lost in this movie, but he was so sucked up. He was just, gosh, man, he was just looking like a straight low life in the movie. But it was a good story, and I do recommend the movie to a certain degree. It's not a must watch, but it's an interesting movie to see how some of these things came to be, right? With the US banning some of this stuff, some of these vitamins, some of this medication, but it's legal around the world, just not here. And then him smuggling in and him bringing eyeballs to that and how that changed certain things on how things are run here. So it was an interesting story. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, do I highly recommend it? No, I don't highly recommend it, but it was a good watch. It was a good watch. It was a good story. Could get a little bit odd at times, but it was nonetheless, it was still a pretty good story. And he's not a good guy in the movie. I just want to make that clear. He never becomes like this hero in the movie. He stays, the same guy that he was when he found out before he knew he had AIDS. Ron Woodroof is the same guy that he is at the end of the movie. So he never really changes up. But his acting, Matthew McConaughey, his acting in this movie, impeccable. Impeccable. That is Dallas Buyers Club. Cholo Trucker, M.A.S. Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on next one.